Silence is usually misunderstood. People treat it as the absence of something, when in reality it is often the presence of too much. Not speaking is not always about fear. Sometimes it is about knowing exactly what a sentence would destroy. Most truths are not dangerous because they are wrong. They are dangerous because they are precise. Draw lines. They force people to see what they have been avoiding. So instead of telling the truth, we learn how to manage perception. We edit ourselves, adjust the story, we leave certain details out, not because they are unimportant, but because they would change how we are seen. Over time, this becomes a habit. You no longer ask what is true, you ask what is acceptable. And that is where something quiet begins to break. People think dishonesty is about lying. In reality, it is mostly about omission, about things left hanging in the air, never denied, never confirmed, just quietly kept away from the light. That kind of silence does not feel dramatic. It feels practical. It keeps relationships smooth. It avoids conflicts. It makes life easier. But it also makes it thinner. There is a difference between being no and being easy to deal with. Most people choose the second without realizing what they are giving up. You can be surrounded by people and still feel strangely unseen because they are responding to a version of you that was designed to avoid friction. That distance grows slowly, so slowly it feels normal, and one day you realize you have been present in many conversations without ever being fully there. The unsaid does not stay silent, it moves into the body, into tension, into the feeling that something is wrong, even when nothing is obvious. It shows up in the way you hesitate, in the way certain questions make you uncomfortable, in the way you avoid topics that get too close to something old. Not because you are hiding a secret, but because you have learned that some truths do not survive in the world they enter. Yet silence has a cost. What you keep inside for too long begins to shape how much of yourself you are allowed to use. Your inner world becomes smaller, not because you lost anything, but because you stopped giving it space. This is how people become distant from their own lives without ever leaving them. The unsaid is not a dramatic confession waiting to happen. It is the quiet accumulation of things that were never given words. And sometimes what hurts the most is not what happened, but what was never allowed to be acknowledged. Because something that is never named never gets the chance to change. It only stays.